The Cubs sweep the series against the A's. I hope you guys brought out those broomsticks because I sure as hell did. I was sweeping my house all last night, cleaning up. Cubs win 10-2 to improve the record to 5-4 on the season. We currently are half a game out of first place, trailing behind the Cardinals. Let's go, boys. We can't let the Cardinals do this. The Cardinals aren't even supposed to be good this year, so they can't have any gratification of being in that number one spot because deep down everyone knows that's ours. Just like Ryan Poles said about the North, we're going to take the North and never give it back. We're going to take the Central and never give it back once we had that first place spot this year. That's what I truly believe. Big games for Suzuki and JMO led the charge in yesterday's game. Beautifully played game. Go Cubs. With that being said, hi, welcome back to another episode of The Cubby Perspective. My name is Andrew. I'm a podcast for the fans, by the fans. Shout out to my brother Brandon and my good friend Joe for creating that slogan. We actually, before the Cubby Perspective, we had a podcast called Chicago Brewed Sports, and we covered, baseball and football. So that's where we kind of came up with it. So sorry for stealing that, boys. The Cubs desperately needed this win to ensure that we have the utmost confidence going into our next phase of the season. Our upcoming schedule is extremely tough. We're versing some very good teams. We have the Padres at home for our home opener series. The Padres right now, as it stands, I believe are 6-0 or 7-0 to start the season, which is pretty ridiculous. And we play them twice in the upcoming month. We play the Dodgers in a series. We play Arizona, who's basically our kryptonite. They're like the Milwaukee Brewers. For whatever reason, we can't beat them the last couple of years. We have the Texas Rangers. We have the Philadelphia Phillies. So the Cubs are definitely moving into a tough schedule. Like truly, they are moving into a tough schedule, and they have to. The Cubs are doing their job properly. They have to beat up on teams like the A's, who aren't bad, but they're still trying to become that competitive team. So the Cubs did their job well there. But Jameson Tyone, he pitched a beautiful game yesterday. 6 innings pitched, got the win, 7 Ks, ERA at a 3, a WHIP at a 1.17. He got the quality start. So that's everything you have to see out of your number three pitcher. If your number three pitcher is consistently doing that on a daily basis, you're going to win a lot of ball games. Simple as that. But the issue with Jameson Tyone is his consistency, in my opinion. I'd like to see JMO be more consistent with his starts. I feel as if JMO can go out there and pitch a beautiful game like the way he did, but I also feel as if Jameson Tyone can go out there and really, and blunder the game up. So definitely, I look for Jameson Tyone to start pitching more consistent because as of right now, the Cubs have a decent rotation, but is that really a playoff, rotation? Is that really a World Series rotation? You see other rotations like the Dodgers and stuff like that, um, and the Dodgers are just tenfold better than the Cubs right now. Um, the Cubs have Justin Steele, they have Shota Imanaga. Both are very good pitchers for the Cubs. They're both dogs. They both go out there and pitch every fifth day and give it their all and compete and battle, stick in the games or whatnot. But outside of the 1 and 2, the Cubs have Jameson Tyone, who is not bad, but he's inconsistent and he's maybe a fourth kind of starter at best. I wouldn't even say he's a three. They have Matthew Boyd. Matthew Boyd looks like he has all the talent in the world, but he is 34 years old. He has been roughed up a lot the past 5 years. Hasn't really pitched that much. Yes, he did go out there with Cleveland last year, pitched really well in the regular season, and carried that into the postseason where he pitched really good for them. But like I said, he's 34 years old. Who knows how his arm or his body is going to hold up the entire year. And our fifth starter, Ben Brown. Ben Brown has all the talent in the world, really. He goes out there and he works and he battles, and he's like a sponge. He soaks up a lot of stuff. That's what people around the league have been saying about Ben Brown. But would you trust Ben Brown, to take that ball in that postseason game? I'm not sure. I'm not really sure if you would. Um, that's why my next question I'd like to bring up to you guys: do you think the Cubs need to make a trade at some point in the season, or do you think that this rotation is playoff contenders? Um, I don't think it is. I think the Cubs are missing that like one more piece. Really, I think the Cubs, with the way their farm system is set up and the way that their major league roster is set up, you have a lot of position players who are locked down, who will be here for many years to come, and you have a farm system with numerous guys all trying to break through that ceiling to get up here, who don't simply have a roster spot because of the team on the field is pretty good. For example, you have Owen Casey. Owen Casey's a right fielder. The kid has all the potential in the world. I'm really big on him as well. But right now we have Kyle Tucker in right field, PCA in center, and Ian Happ in left field. There's nowhere for him to play. You could slot him at DH, but we also have Seiya Suzuki there. So, I don't really see him getting too much playing time unless one of those guys gets injured. Hopefully they don't. Obviously, it would be smart to hold on to Casey as like a pillow blanket, and see if we lose Kyle Tucker to free agency. I think that would be pretty smart. But if the Cubs have the opportunity to go out there and trade for a guy like Sandy Alcantara on Miami, who's healthy again, coming off his Tommy John and pitching really well to start the season, I think you got to jump on it. Simple as that. I mean, a Cubs rotation of Shota Imanaga, Justin Steele, and Sandy Alcantara, that's pretty disgusting. That's pretty disgusting. I'd say that's up there with one of the better rotations of baseball. And now you could go into a division series with three aces on your team and feel pretty confident that you're giving your team the best opportunity to win that game every single game, day in, day out. So I think the Cubs do need to make some sort of trade eventually throughout the year, and you're definitely going to see them do that. Obviously, if the Cubs are playing up to their capabilities. So Sandy Alcantara is on the top of my wish list. It's probably going to cost a lot, but Sandy Alcantara has all the talent in the world. I don't think I would have an issue with giving up some prime talent for a guy like that. Outside of Sandy Alcantara, maybe the Cubs don't go out there and make a trade. Maybe they try and retain as much of their farm system as possible to have that like constant revolving door of players. Just in case like someone goes down. It's good depth after all. But I think if the Cubs don't go out there and make a trade for a guy like Sandy Alcantara, you could see them stay within house. You have a guy like Cade Horton down in the minors who's just waiting for his opportunity. Last year he would have made his debut with the Cubs, but he was derailed by a bunch of injuries that shut him down for the remainder of the year. But now Cade Horton's healthy again. He's pitching well again. Look for Cade Horton to eventually make a start in Chicago this year. I truly think he is, and I'm really high on Cade Horton. Obviously, he's a rookie, so he's gonna have to work out some kinks. Obviously, he's gonna have to develop, and learn from his rights and wrongs. But he has all the talent in the world. He has a really, really great fastball. He has an extremely well slider that's highly graded around the entire league. So if you guys don't know about scouting reports, the scouting reports go up to roughly an 80 overall score. That's the highest, grade that you could get in your respected craft. It's graded by, speed, power, hitting, pitching, et cetera, et cetera. And if you're a pitcher, it breaks down to like your arsenal of pitches. So like fastball, slider, changeup, curveball, and it'll give an individual rating for each and every pitch. Cade Horton's fastball is 60, which is definitely above average. His slider is at 70, which is well above average. You don't typically see scouting reports give out numbers that high unless you're really high on top of that, top 100 prospect list, which Cade Horton definitely is. So look for Cade Horton to be in Chicago. Look for Sandy Alcantara to maybe be making an appearance later on in the year or a season. I mean, that'd be wonderful. And then, you'd go into, the season with three aces. And, well, maybe not Cade Horton an ace so far, but I meant Sandy Alcantara, really. All right, so moving on from the pitching aspect and the Jameson Taillon aspect of the episode, it's time to talk about the hitting aspect. Seiya Suzuki, I don't know. The only thing I could say at this point is I apologize. And earlier in the year, I was bringing up his strikeout to walk ratio. And the amount of strikeouts that were piling up so quickly. He he had like 15 strikeouts or so in 7 games, which is striking out at a little over two strikeouts a game, which is absolutely terrible. Um, so maybe I panicked to start the season, you know, which I really shouldn't have because how long of a season the Cubs is. The Cubs are going to be fine. Seiya's going to be fine. But yeah, Seiya Suzuki is really turning it around, especially in this series. So hopefully that continues on because that tough schedule that we have ahead of us. So yeah, the Cubs are going to need that lethal combo of Tucker and Suzuki to keep berating the baseball. Simple as that. But I just want to read you guys some numbers from Seiya Suzuki the last few games. March 30th against Arizona, 2 runs, a 2-run homer, 1 walk. 2 for 4. So he was hitting 500. Um, March 31st against the Athletics, 2 for 5, 1 run, 1 RBI, 1 walk, 400, 429 on base. April 1st against the Athletics, 2 for 5, 1 run, a 3-run homer, 400 average, 400 on base. And the previous game that we just talked about, April 2nd against the Athletics, 3 for 5, 2 runs, 2 homers, 5 RBIs, 1 walk, 600 batting average, 667 on base percentage. That is what you want to see out of the middle of your lineup. That two and three, 2, 3, 4 hitters, they need to do their jobs. They need to do their jobs properly. And that's they need to drive the ball, put the ball in play, and freaking drive in some damn runs for the team. And that's exactly what Tucker and Suzuki are doing to start the season. And it's a great sign so far. It's a great sign. So if the Cubs could keep this up throughout the year and be consistent, unlike previous seasons, you're going to see that Cubs, potentially go past that 90 win mark. I think that's very plausible to start to say really. Last couple of years, you had the offense go quiet for 2 months. Like last year, the offense just dissipated for 2 months out of the season. And that's not good. That put the Cubs in a major hole to where the entire rest of the season they were fighting back, clawing their way back, and there just wasn't enough time. But now I think this season you're going to see the Cubs be more consistent with their offense and their pitching and stuff like that. So that means that the team is just going to be overall better if there's consistency. We're going to need consistency out of our big names because not only is that great for the team, that's great for other players who are struggling. If you have a guy like PCA who's struggling, but Tucker and Suzuki and Ian Happ are carrying our lineup, that takes less pressure off of PCA, and that goes the same for Matt Shaw, who are still very young. They're young rookies. If the top half of your lineup is producing, that alleviates a lot of stress on the lower half to where they could just go out there, play their game, not worry about, getting those base hits because the top half is picking up the slack. And that allows PCA and Matt Shaw to feel less stress, and just, like I said, just go out there and be themselves and work through those kinks and develop properly, right? So with the way Suzuki and Tucker are playing at the moment, you guys let me know, who do you think will end the year with better numbers? Obviously, Kyle Tucker is the favorite, but say Suzuki moving into that DH role, now his main priority is strictly hitting. So you could see his numbers be elevated this season. So everyone knows Seiya Suzuki wasn't the best outfielder. He had some terrible plays that cost us, important games or whatnot. So now, and like I said before, he doesn't have to worry about playing defense. He doesn't have to go out there and stress about his glove, right? And now he's just focusing on offense only. So yeah, I really think Seiya Suzuki could have a career year for the Cubs. So again, question: Who do you think will end the number with? Excuse me. Who do you think will end the year with better numbers? Seiya Suzuki or Kyle Tucker? You guys let me know. That pretty much sums up the podcast for the pitching and the offense and the breakdown of the game. And hope you guys enjoyed that and let me know how I'm doing, please. But I do want to add that yesterday I did make some social medias. I made an Instagram and I made a Facebook page. So I will be dropping those links down below or on the screen somewhere for you guys to see. So if you guys, really enjoy the podcast or support what I'm doing, please go out there and find me on Instagram and Facebook right now. I'm still in the process of making a TikTok. I've never had TikTok before, so I'm still learning how to use it properly and whatnot. But I do plan on getting on TikTok as well for you guys. So when I get that, I will drop it down below. But yeah, a lot of stuff's happening. Definitely, still learning. I'm just trying to absorb as much as humanly possible. I did figure out, how to put some bubbles and some pop-ups on the screen. So throughout this, you're gonna start seeing some stat lines and stuff like that from the players that make it more visually appealing for you guys. So yeah, I just ask that you guys be patient and you just keep supporting me, liking the videos, sharing as much as possible if you like the content. And from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate it. I'm also thinking about putting some parlays out there for you guys. Some surefire bets, of course, to win you guys some money. I'm also thinking about adding in like a fantasy baseball kind of segment where I talk about some sleeper picks or whatnot and who you guys should be picking up or looking at within the draft. So if you guys do find that interesting and want to hear more about it, let me know in the comments below, and maybe we could start that up. But I will wait for more you know for more reviews and stuff if you guys would like it or not. But yeah, I really appreciate it. I'm having a really good time doing this, and I will see you guys again soon.